Hey Chloe, do steers have steering wheels?
Wait, steering wheels? That's a good question. Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Welcome, honorable judges.
Ladies, gentlemen, and worthy competitors. Hello, my name is Lily Mayoni.
And I'm Chloe Braslins. Thank you all for joining us today as we demonstrate how to make a practical and inexpensive livestock halter that can be used on your cattle, goats, sheep,
And even a donkey.
Having an utterly awesome rope halter will definitely steer your livestock in the right direction.
When working with your calf, steer, or heifer, you have one powerful tool to showcase your livestock, your halter. Most showmen will say that your halter serves as the steering wheel for getting your animal around the ring.
It is a vital tool for both leading and tying up your livestock.
Halters are classified in two categories, show and traditional. This is a show halter, usually made out of leather or rawhide. It's fancy, and what you would use in the show ring.
The more traditional halter, which we'll be demonstrating how to make today, is made of rope. But it can come in many different fibers, including cotton, polyester, nylon, and jute.
Now are you ready to learn how to make an utterly awesome rope halter?
Because I know we are! First, let's run through the materials we will need. All of our items are from my dad's garage, but any of them can be found at a local store.
First off, we are using 3-stranded polyester rope. And the question is, how much do you need? Since this is an adjustable rope halter, 10 to 15 feet of half-inch rope works perfect for a steer or heifer. But if you have a smaller animal like a calf or a sheep, 6 to 7 feet of 1/4-inch rope will work perfectly. Bulk rope is about $1 per foot, but bagged rope can be even less. Next up, we have our gloves. We want to make sure that these are leather and heat resistant. They will be found for around $10 to $15. Next, we have our ruler and tape measure. You can find these at any stationery supply store for around $2 to $3. And lastly, we have our heat source. What can we use as our heat source, Chloe?
Well, Lily, can we use a match?
No, that's not going to work.
Okay, Lily. What about this candle?
That's not going to cut it either.
Okay, Lily, I'll give it one last shot. What about this mini propane torch?
Almost, but not quite. Today, we will be using this flamethrower. I'm kidding, it's not a real flamethrower. It's a large propane torch, and you can find one for around $40.
Once you have all the materials needed, depending on the length of the rope you need, we estimate this cost to be no more than $15 per halter.
Well, let's begin.
Starting with our first end. This is step 1. You need to secure them. This is so the rope is easier to work with and it's not as hard. Today, we'll be burning them with our propane torch.
For this demonstration, we have already prepared our ends, but we'll walk you through the necessary steps.
But before we actually use the propane torch, we need to be sure that we have an adult supervision.
There's my adult. Hey, Dad, how are you doing?
Okay, Lily. Moving along, you need gloves for safety.
And once again, we are making sure that these are leather and heat resistant, as this melted polyester rope will get very hot. Now, I'll melt the ends with the torch.
Shh. Once you've melted the first end, smooth this rope in the direction of the twist. And be sure you don't do this without gloves on, as this heat source gets very hot. And once you've completed the first end, repeat on your other side. Shh. Hey, Lily.
Yeah?
What did the piece of rope say when it got all tangled up?
I don't know. What did it say?
Oh, not again.
Oh, that's a good one, Chloe. Now I have 2 completed ends. Moving on to step 2. Making the muzzle. Measure 20 inches with the ruler or a tape measure.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea, but I'd rather use the length of Lily's arm.
That would work perfectly too. This end is considered the short end.
This measurement will also depend on the size of the livestock you are making the halter for.
We found our measurements online, but you can do your own custom measurements. Now, at that 20-inch mark, open the rope by twisting it in the opposite direction, so you get one loop. This loop is the start of the eye of the halter.
You want to be sure that this loop is big enough, as you need to feed rope through it.
Now, feed the short end through. Then, beside this loop, make another loop closer to the short end. And then, stick the long end all the way through.
What's our next step, Lily?
Well, this is actually the part that goes right over the nose of the animal. Now, take the short end and untwist the rope to expose 3 strands. Once you have your 3 strands, push the rope together to create 3 loops.
And again, you want to make sure that these 3 loops are big enough, as you need to feed rope through it.
Now, moving on to step 3, making the headpiece, which is this piece right here. Take your long end and feed it through those 3 loops. Hey, Chloe.
Oh, hey, Lily.
What is a farmer's favorite type of car?
I don't know. What is it?
Mercedes-Benz.
Oh, Lily, you crack me up every time.
You've just made the part of the halter that fits behind the ears. Moving on to our last and final step, the chin strap. Take your long end and feed it through your original loop, the eye of the halter.
And voila! Here is your finished rope halter. Now, hey Lily, do you know how to fit a rope on a cow?
No, I don't. But I do know that we need a cow.
What was that noise?
Meet Blimpy.
Now that we have our cow and our trusty handler, I'll walk you through the steps on fitting our rope halter. So, we start by taking the muzzle piece, the first steps that we made, put it above the bridge of the nose of the animal and under the muzzle. Then, you would loosely tighten that to the size of your animal. Then you take the second pieces we made, the head piece, so that behind both ears and resting just behind the poll. Then, you tighten that to the adjusted size of your animal.
Now, you may have noticed that our halter doesn't necessarily fit Blimpy, but that is because our halters are intended for an actual cow.
Hey Lily, do you want to learn how to care of the halter?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, keep your halter clean and dry and always hang it up when it's not in use. As you can see, making a rope halter can be easy to learn, and once you've invested in all the supplies, it's quite inexpensive. And I don't know about you, Lily, but I personally think it was a great life skill learned.
Definitely. Let's do a quick recap of our demo, Chloe.
Sounds good to me.
Today, we showed you the use of a halter,
Where to purchase supplies to make a halter,
the steps to make a rope halter,
and how to fit a rope halter. If made properly, a good rope halter will allow you to work with your livestock safely and last a long time.
we made a handy instruction sheet so you too can make your own utterly awesome rope halter.
Now, we hope you found
This demonstration
amusing!